Hello everybody. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Haley and I'm 20 years old and I feel ridiculous making a YouTube video right now, but here we are. I do eyelash extensions and nails. I've been doing lashes since about 2018 and I'm certified in that. I'm working on getting my license to do nails. I just haven't decided what school yet, but I've been doing nails since about May, really. And basically, I wasn't sure if I wanted to post any videos about anything just because I know I'm not perfect at all, and especially since nails are kind of like a newer thing, I didn't feel qualified to give anybody any type of advice. But even though I am pretty new, there are tips and tricks that I feel like could potentially help people, like stuff I wish I would have known when I was starting out. So hopefully this can help somebody. If not, whatever. I just kind of wanted to give a little disclaimer before the video starts because I'm not perfect. People might not do the same things as me. I try my best to do my very best on each set for sure, like lashes and nails, but like I said, I'm not perfect. But yeah, this video is going to be about nails. It's a little bit shorter. It's my first video, so kind of bear with me. I'm gonna try to make the next one a little bit longer with better angles just to kind of get you like more in-depth, so you can like really see and understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. But yeah, so just forewarning, this video goes by very fast, but hopefully this can help somebody and enjoy. All right, what's up guys? We are jumping right into this. Pretty much I'm going to be showing you how I do these nails. Once I start out with each client, I make sure that everything is super clean. So a clean towel, I sanitize mine in their hands, and then I make sure everything else is clean too. So I always use a new sanding bit for each client. My files are disinfectable, and anything that I can't disinfect, I throw away and then use a new one. That way everything's nice and clean. But as far as the actual nail part goes, I typically will start with the cuticle care. So I'll use a cuticle pusher, push them back, trim them, but she had little to no cuticles when she came in, so we pretty much just used that sanding bit to kind of buff everything. And then if you really want to make that clean look, you'll use a little rounded bit on your E-file, to file away all that little dead skin around the cuticles. But like I said, hers look great. So we buffed everything out, and here I am gluing on the tips. My biggest tip for gluing on the tips is making sure that if you have to pick between a little too big and a little too small, always go big, because if it's too small, it's going to want to pop off later because there's a lot of pressure built in there. So if it's a little bit too big, what I do is I file the sides of the fake nail, the tip, and then I'll glue it on. That way it's nice and tailored to her exact fingernail shape and it works and there's no lifting. And then basically once those are glued on there, I take my tiny scissors and I kind of just trim all of them up, always making sure that the client loves that shape and length. With the shape, I'm actually pretty tedious about that. I always make it abundantly clear to my clients that they can't hurt my feelings, and so I check in with them multiple times, just making sure, how's this? Is the length okay? Is the shape okay? Would you like it more narrow? Anything like that. That way they are guaranteed to leave satisfied. I always tell people that I prefer the picky clients over the clients that don't really speak up, because the picky ones know exactly what they want. Anyway, once I go in and make sure all of those are good, like I said, I'm super tedious with the shape, just because for me it's like the whole foundation of the nail. Like, the nails won't look good if the shape is bad, and it's definitely something I'm still perfecting. Like I've said a million times already, I am not perfect in any way, shape, or form, and I still have tons and tons of ways that I can improve. But yeah, so there I am doing all the filing, and then I just go back in with that little sanding bit with the E-file, and I pretty much just sand everything together, make sure it's kind of like seamless, no lumps, just things like that. Always making sure when you're going against that bare nail, like we are still, that the E-file is on the lowest power, like the lowest speed. That way it's minimally damaging to their nails and it doesn't burn them. Here I am using a prep and prime. I use a dehydrator and then a sticky primer. And once her nails are primed, we are pretty much going to start with the acrylic. Oh, also key, obviously before you prime the nails, you want to dust them off with your little brush. Most of the time if you order an E-file, there will be a brush that comes with it. Anyway, I'm basically going in, we did a black and orange look obviously, but anytime I'm using a lot of black, I like to just use clear acrylic and then paint it black, because I'm not completely comfortable with using a ton of black acrylic yet, because black acrylic is very difficult to work with. Very messy, wants to bleed into the cuticle, just super annoying, but I'm trying to get better with it. So that's why we're doing clear. I'm starting with all the clear ones. All of them are clear except for her ring finger and pointer finger. Sorry. And once we've done that, we're going to grab our orange. This one actually glows in the dark. I'm linking everything down below, but the acrylic is either from Nailed by John or Valentino. But yeah, so that is what we're going in with. And once we get that on, we are going to file everything. But another tip about the acrylic is that when you are applying it, it's kind of tricky at first because you want to make sure that you have the appropriate amount in the appropriate spots. That means giving it a nice good apex, good sidewalls, and kind of just making it proportionate / strong where it needs to be. This is something super tricky at first, but I'm kind of giving you a better angle here. You can see the cuticles are not flooded with acrylic. There's a nice area, like gap, where the acrylic, not like gap, but you can see what I mean, how it gets like a, just, I don't know, more me trying to explain something. It makes sense in my brain, but just look at the cuticles and notice that there's not a lot of acrylic there, because if there is, then there's going to be damage and lots of lifting later on. So just making sure, even if you have to put the acrylic like a little bit above where the cuticle is, that way it's not even like touching the cuticle at all. Like if you're not comfortable with your acrylic yet, do that. That way you're definitely not damaging anybody's nails. That is definitely easier said than done, but you learn as you go. And then once I am done with the acrylic application, everything looks good, I'm going to file everything in the order that I applied it. That way everything has the appropriate amount of time to dry and harden and all that good stuff. So there I am. I'm kind of just smoothing everything out using that same sanding bit, going around by the cuticles, really trying to give it that like smooth and seamless look. And then I'm going back in with my hand file, and I'm pretty much just kind of like reshaping everything, making it nice and like square again, nice and sharp. I know a lot of my clients that get square or coffin really like it to be sharp. I consider this more, I guess, kind of in the middle of like a tapered square / coffin, because she didn't want coffin, but she didn't want square either. That's how a lot of my clients are, just like right in between. But that, I don't know, that's what I would say that shape is. But anyway. Now we're using a gel polish. We're just going in and painting all of that clear acrylic black. She said she wanted 3 coats of this because 2 coats just wasn't quite dark enough. It was still a little bit tiny bit sheer, so we went in with that 3rd coat, always curing between each coat, of course. But once it comes to the nail art, I put down the back of my business card. That's the little white thing that you're seeing right there. And I take a little detailed nail art brush, and I'm just going in with my nail art. All the black is going to be matte, so we did put matte top coat on top of those, and the orange is going to have just gloss, so we're painting all of our little designs on there before we put that gloss on. As far as our black middle fingers, we are literally just putting top coat, like glossy top coat, over that matte to give it that look. That's how we made that spider. That's not like a color. We literally just did the matte and then used gloss to paint the spider on there to give it that super cool contrast. It could work with like any like dark color, really. The darker the better, because then it really pops, as you can see. But yeah, that is the final look. As far as your like nail art / designs, my biggest tip is just practice, practice, practice for sure. But yeah, I'm not amazing. I'm not like an expert, but all I can say is if you do something every single day, you are going to get better at it. So my best word of advice is to keep practicing, keep your head up, because this is definitely not easy and nobody is perfect at it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this helps somebody. I know it went by pretty quick, but stay tuned because I'll be posting more of these. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.